None of these 8 cars are sold in the United States. A 100% tariff on Chinese-built EVs keeps every one of them out of American showrooms. And that's exactly why most American buyers have no idea this is happening. While US buyers are choosing between a Tesla and a handful of legacy EVs, Chinese automakers are quietly dismantling Toyota's grip on Southeast Asia, eating into Tata's lead in India, and undercutting Tesla on price and range in market after market outside the US. In China alone, BYD sold more battery electric vehicles than Tesla worldwide in 2025, and it's now targeting up to 1.5 million overseas sales in 2026, without needing the US market at all. This isn't a future threat. It's already happened in Thailand, in India, and across most of Europe. The only question left is how long the tariff wall holds before this pressure reaches American roads anyway, through the global suppliers, battery technology, and pricing expectations these cars are setting right now. Let's get into it. Number 8. BYD Atto 3, the one that dethroned Toyota in Thailand. At the 2026 Bangkok International Motor Show, BYD collected 17,354 vehicle orders. Toyota, the brand that had led Southeast Asia's auto market for over 60 years, collected 15,750. That's not a niche EV story, that's Toyota getting outsold at its own regional stronghold. The BYD Atto 3 led that charge, with January 2026 sales in Thailand up 1,158.6% year-over-year. 8 of the top 10 best-selling vehicles at that Bangkok show were Chinese brands. Here's the real reason. Toyota built its Southeast Asian dominance on gas-powered reliability. Thailand's EV market shifted faster than Toyota's product lineup could follow. And BYD was already there with a competitively priced, well-equipped SUV when demand turned electric. If a 60-year lead can evaporate in one motor show, you already know why this list matters. Hit subscribe because Toyota isn't the only legacy brand losing ground. Number 7. MG Windsor EV. The one outselling Tata in India. India blocks direct Chinese car sales over border tension trade restrictions. But Chinese technology is getting in anyway. MG Motor India is majority owned by China's SAIC, and its Windsor EV has been outselling Tata's Nexon EV, India's longtime EV leader for most of the last year. In full-year sales, the Windsor and Windsor Pro combined moved 42,356 units against the Nexon EV's 24,612, a lead of roughly 42%. The Windsor starts around 14.10 lakh rupees, just above the Nexon EV's 12.49 lakh starting price, with a larger cabin and more standard equipment. Tata still leads India's overall EV market, but its share has been sliding as SAIC-backed and other new entrants carve out territory month by month. In an ironic twist, Tata itself struck a deal in June 2026 to use Chinese automaker Chery's manufacturing platform to build its own upcoming premium EVs. A supply arrangement Tata insists doesn't transfer any Chinese technology know-how, but one that underscores how hard it's become for any automaker to compete in this segment without leaning on Chinese engineering somewhere in the supply chain. Here's the real reason. India kept Chinese badges out, but not Chinese engineering, ownership structures, or manufacturing platforms, which are reaching Indian buyers through partnerships regulators didn't fully anticipate. Number 6. Zeekr 7X, the Tesla model. Why rival? Geely's Zeekr brand built the 7X specifically to take on the Tesla Model Y, and in markets like Australia, it's winning on paper. The Zeekr 7X starts at roughly $40,400, undercutting the Model Y's rear-wheel drive starting price by about $700, while charging at up to 450 kilowatts against Tesla's 250 kilowatt ceiling. The performance all-wheel drive Zeekr produces 475 kilowatts against the Model Y Performance's 343 kilowatts for thousands less. Independent reviewers testing both cars back-to-back have concluded the Zeekr doesn't just match the Model Y, it beats it in cabin quality and charging speed. Zeekr also backs the car with a warranty stretching up to 10 years and 144,000 miles when serviced at official dealerships. A coverage length only Toyota and Lexus have historically matched in the same markets. Here's the real reason. Zeekr was founded in 2021 specifically to compete with Tesla in China, and it's now exporting that exact playbook to every market it enters. Number 5. BYD Seagull, the $10,300 disruptor. In China, the BYD Seagull starts at 69,900 yuan, about $10,300. And even at that price, it now offers an optional LiDAR-based driver assist system, a feature usually reserved for cars costing 5 times as much. Range tops out around 250 miles. Exported to Europe as the Dolphin Surf, pricing climbs to roughly $22,700 to $35,100 depending on trim and market, still undercutting most European rivals. In 2025, the Seagull ranked among the world's best-selling EVs with nearly 450,000 deliveries. This is the car that normalized the idea that an EV doesn't have to be expensive to be genuinely good, and every automaker building a budget EV since has had to answer for it. 8 cars in, and not one of them is legal to buy new in the United States. What's changing is how long that separation actually holds, because the technology and pricing pressure in the next 3 cars is starting to reach markets the US can't fully wall off. Number 4. Geely Xingyuan, the car that dethroned the model. The Geely Xingyuan, sold internationally as the EX2, starts around $9,100 to $9,700. In 2025, it became China's best-selling vehicle of any kind, ahead of the Tesla Model Y and the BYD Seagull, with over 465,000 units sold. It held that crown again through the first half of 2026. Cumulative sales passed 800,000 units within 2 years of launch. Geely is now exporting the EX2 to Brazil, Mexico, Indonesia, the UK, and Australia through 2026, aiming to repeat in global markets what it already did to Tesla at home. Here's the real reason. Tesla lost China's top sales spot to a car costing roughly a quarter of the Model Y's price, built by a company most American buyers have never heard of. Number 3. Xiaomi YU7. The phone company that undercut Tesla. On purpose, Xiaomi, the company that makes phones and vacuum cleaners, launched a YU7 Standard Edition priced at 233,500 yuan, about $32,400 to $34,400, specifically to undercut the Tesla Model Y by roughly $4,350 while offering 31 miles more range. Xiaomi CEO admitted publicly that the original YU7 wasn't priced aggressively enough against Tesla, then fixed it. The YU7 secured over 200,000 firm orders within 3 minutes of its original launch, and Xiaomi has now shipped more than 600,000 EVs in under 2 years as a car maker. Number 2. BYD Seal, the Model 3's cheaper twin. The BYD Seal starts around $27,900 in China, nearly 30% less than the Tesla Model. 3's roughly $38,990 starting price, while including Nappa leather, a rotating 15.6-inch touchscreen, and a 12-speaker sound system as standard equipment Tesla charges extra for. It's not a stripped-down knockoff. Reviewers testing both cars side by side consistently rate the Seal's cabin as more premium than the Model 3's, even while undercutting it on price by thousands of dollars. Here's the real reason. BYD built the Seal specifically to answer the Model 3 feature for feature, then priced it to make the comparison uncomfortable for Tesla. Subscribe now because the car that closes this list isn't chasing Tesla's price. It's beating everyone on technology outright. Number 1. Denza N9 Flash Charge, the one that shows where this is all headed. BYD's premium. Denza brand launched the N9 Flash Charge Edition at $60,300. and it can charge from empty to 97% in 9 minutes. Combined output from its triple motor system hits 912 horsepower with 0 to 62 miles an hour in 3.7 seconds. Numbers that belong to a performance car, not a 3-row luxury SUV. This isn't a budget disruptor like the Seagull or the Xingyuan. It's proof that Chinese automakers can now compete at the top of the market too, on charging speed, on power, and on luxury cabin tech, not just on price. BYD is backing that charging claim with infrastructure too, targeting flash charging stations within a 3-kilometer radius across China's major cities by the end of 2026. The kind of build-out that makes a 9-minute charge time useful in daily life rather than just a spec sheet number. Here's the real reason this list matters to an American audience. Every one of these 8 cars is locked out of US showrooms by a 100% tariff. But the battery technology, the charging speeds, and the price expectations they're setting are already reshaping what every other automaker, including the ones selling in the US, has to build next. Ford, GM, and Toyota's own engineers are watching these same specs, and the next generation of American and Japanese EVs will be judged against numbers this list just set. BYD Atto 3 dethroned Toyota in Thailand. MG Windsor EV outselling Tata in India. Zeekr 7X undercutting Tesla in Australia. BYD Seagull, the $10,300 disruptor. Geely Xingyuan dethroned the Model Y in China. Xiaomi YU7, the phone company beating Tesla on price. BYD Seal, the Model 3's cheaper twin. Denza N9 flash charge, 9 minutes to full. Drive safe.